Today, we will be testing the speed of this car going down different materials. For my hypothesis before, what I think the fastest substance will be is actually just the normal wood, but we'll see. I just think that because we're not adding anything extra to it, so it'll probably stay at a more constant speed the whole time. There's no extra bumps or anything, and it's just a smooth material for the most part. So yeah.
My hypothesis is I think that the paper is going to be the fastest because it has the least friction. Yeah.
Okay, so for our first trial, the wood is at 30 degrees, as it will be for the whole time, and we're going to start with just the wood. So we will do 3 test trials, and then we will get the average time and have the distance. For our next ramp material, we have tissues, and we will start right now. Okay. Okay, for our next ramp, we decided to do plastic wrap, and this one we think actually might do pretty good because it's pretty no friction. There's not a lot of friction other than, the wrinkles, but we'll see. Okay. Ooh. Okay, for our next one, we are using paper towels. Ooh. Okay, for our next one, we have paper. Don't mind the weird random gap right there. Okay, for our next one, we have tin foil. For our very last one, we have really cool car towels. The results are in, and the wood, in fact, won, and I was right. So, just kidding. That was mean. Okay, so now that we finished all the data, we're going to relate all of the materials back to physics and explain why we think some may have done better than others and why some materials maybe didn't work as well as we wanted them to. Okay, just for some reference of how I'm looking at this physics and with our ramp. So I drew this little ramp. This is the wooden ramp. And you have your normal force going upward, which, is just your normal force. And it can decrease or increase depending on the angle. And there's also gravitational force, which never changes despite the angle. And then we have friction pointing the opposite direction of where the car is going, because that's what friction is it always is going the opposite direction. And that's what causes it to slow down. And then we have our weight force, which is just however much it weighs. Through all this research, finding that wood was the best one, then paper and tissues and tinfoil and saran wrap and paper towels, and then the towels. That was the order of, best to worst. I found that the main things to making a good ramp and using good materials would be that the material is a hard, flat surface with the least amount of friction possible. And when you find that, that's when it works the best. And that's partly why the wood worked the very best, is because it was hard, flat, and durable, strong. So yeah, that one worked really well. And I found that when they had any wrinkles or any kind of friction like that, it just did not work as well as ones that didn't. And yeah, the towel one didn't even work because there was too much friction, too much turning and problems with that. And it also was a problem considering with the wind too. So yeah, that's the main thing I learned from this, is that with all of physics, you need to make sure to put the least amount of friction in all if you want speed. The end. What do you have to say? Yay!